everyone, welcome back to episode 9 of my women's basketball podcast, Anastasia Scouting Report. As always, if you're brand new, I do the video version on YouTube every single week if y'all are listening on Spotify or Apple, and then the link for that's going to be there. And then also I do timestamp this entire thing, so if there's a section that's more pertinent to you, you can skip around and find that, okay? But let's get started. Okay, this week we talking about conference tournament play. We got SEC tournament, Big East tournament, Big Ten tournament, okay? So starting off with UConn, as I always do, okay? So in the Big East quarterfinals, they get that win against Georgetown, 84-39, okay? And so, starting off with UConn and one of my goats, Azzi Fudd. So she played 26 minutes, had 10 points. You see the field goals, not her best day from the field, but as we know, Demon always comes back. And I've said this before, but some of y'all are extremely weird about Azzi and everything. And so, it genuinely gets to a point. 1 and 2, the media has been disrespecting her all season with her playing in these games and them not even posting full stat lines and them just not giving her the appreciation that she deserves, which really irritates me and everything. So, it wasn't our best day from the field, but still finding other ways to contribute. Got a couple rebounds, got a couple assists, and we know that her defense is always fantastic and doesn't necessarily show up on the box score, okay, whenever we did have 1 steal and 1 block. So I will take those things, and we had 10 points. So we had double digits, so I will leave here with something. So that's 1, okay? And then we go on to Baby Goat Sarah Strong. I got my Sarah Strong slam shirt on for the visual viewers of this podcast, okay? So she played 27 minutes, had 11 points, 5 for 9 shooting, and 1 of 3 from 3, no free throws, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 6 steals, insane, and 2 blocks, okay? I thought this was a decent game for her, you know? She was able to go out there and make an impact, being efficient from the field, you know, and showing up on defense too, getting a couple rebounds. So, you know, I liked Sarah's performance in this game, okay? Continuing on to Sarah Williams. So she played 18 minutes, had 14 points, 7 for 8 shooting, no threes, no free throws, 7 rebound, no assists, 4 turnovers. I can't praise the turnovers. Y'all know how I feel about turnovers, okay? And she had 3 steals and 2 blocks in this game, okay? And so I feel like this was probably one of the best games that Sarah has played in a UConn uniform, okay? And so I just thought she looks good, and I felt like in this game they were being really intentional to get her involved early and get her some looks in the post, and she was able to capitalize off of that. And we had some good stuff on defense too. We got some rebounds. So for the most part, I was pleased with her performance. I thought she looks really good. I just hate the turnovers is all. Then Ashton Shea, 24 minutes, no points, 0-3 from the field, 0-1 from 3, no free throws, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. Y'all know how I feel about Ashton Shade. I move on to KK Arnold. She played 19 minutes, had 12 points, 4 for 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 free throw, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. So decent stat line overall for KK. Okay, so I will say those things. Would like to see her lead the game and assist every single time because she's the point guard, you know, and y'all know how I feel. Like I said, to me, not a real point guard and everything. I just don't think that's like where she naturally thrives, as I said before and everything. But she finished with a decent stat line in this one, okay? A bench, Blanca, 19 minutes, 9 points, 3 for 7 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 free throw, 2 rebounds. She had 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 steals, and she had 1 block in this game. Okay. Had a couple nice plays. I think I just had problems with the shot selection in this game, and then when you turn over the ball 3 times and just had some low IQ plays. And so still trying to knock that rust off when we saw that in this game. Yana, 4 minutes played. She had 1 point, no field goals attempted. Then we move on to Jana, 10 minutes played, 2 points, no field goals attempted, no threes, 2-4 from the free throw line, 4 rebound, no assist, no turnover, no steal, and 1 block, okay? Finding a way to make something shake for her time as always. Gino doesn't play her enough. I go through this every time. And then we had Khalees. She had 5 points. You know, that's good, but again, he doesn't play enough. K9, 21 minutes played, 8 points, 2 for 6 shooting, 0-2 from 3. And she had 4 or 5 from the free throw line, 5 total rebounds in this one, no assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks. Okay, so she had a couple good plays in this one. Not her best from the field, you know, and everything, but I felt generally she's been getting some more confidence and everything. No assists is kind of surprising, but no shade, they be selling you assists sometimes. Because we know she likes to pass the ball, okay? Isabel, 21 minutes, 9 points, 3 for 6 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 free throw, 3 rebound, 3 assists, no turnover, 2 steal, and no block. So it was fine. And then Caroline, 5 minutes played, she had 3 points. Okay, so that's everybody for UConn in this basketball game. Okay. Something important and worth noting is that we had some of the team awards noted, okay? So Sarah got Defensive Player of the Year, and she got the Biggest Player of the Year. Richly deserved, baby goat, so of course. And then we had Azzi Fudd. She got robbed from first team all defense. I just don't know what else this woman has to do. A lot of it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but I looked on her stats on the stat sheet, and they were very respectable, you know, and doing some really good stuff. So I just don't know how she didn't make the all-defense team. And one of my friends told me that this was the first year they did that, and for her not to be seeing that list is ridiculous. But she did get first team overall for the Big East, and I believe she got Scholar Athlete of the Year, so that was Azzi. KK got first team. In my opinion, that was undeserved. That was undeserved. I don't know how you watch UConn this whole season and say KK deserved first team, okay? And call me a hater, but I still feel that way, okay? Blanca got Freshman of the Year. I believe she got Sixth Woman of the Year, all freshman team. She got a couple awards. So that was some updates for that. Gino Coach of the Year. It's the Big East. Who was he really going to have competition with? So those are some quick thoughts on that I figured I would share. And then I got the photos of them with their awards. Okay. So some things that I wanted to say. Okay. And then I'll put the stats for Georgetown on the screen so you guys can see what they did in this basketball game, okay? Scoring by quarter, the first quarter 10 to 24, second quarter 8 to 23, third quarter 4 to 22, and fourth quarter 17 to 15. Ultimately, UConn wins 84-39. Leaders for points, rebounds, and assists, Sarah Williams with 14 points, Sarah Williams with 7 rebounds, and Ashton Shea with 6 assists to 1 turnover. And then for Georgetown, Jewett, I believe, number 0 with 9 points, which is insane. Scott with 8 rebounds, and then Carter with 2 assists to 1 turnover, okay? Advanced stats for this game. UConn was 31 to 63 from the field, 49%, 9 to 27 from 3, which is below the average, okay? And then that's going to be 33%. 13 of 18 from the free throw line, which is going to be 72%. 41 total rebounds in this game, 14 offensive and 27 defensive rebounds. And then you had 21 assists, 19 steals, 7 blocked, 12 turnover committed. 42 points off of turnovers, which is good news, obviously. 18 fast breaker transition points, 42 points in the paint. And then you had 12 fouls, no techs. Largely was 54%, lead was 94, okay? And then we go on to Georgetown, okay? So they were 12 of 49 from the field, which is going to be 24%. 6 of 23 from 3, which is going to be 26%. 9 of 14 from the free throw line, which is going to be 64%. 33 total rebounds, 12 offensive and 21 defensive. 6 assists, 5 steal, 1 block, 26 total turnover. 3 points off of turnovers, 3 fast breaker transition points. Only 3 points in transition. 8 points in the paint, 21 foul, no tech. Largely was 4%. Lead was going to be 3. Overall takeaways on this, I walked away with this and I did not understand how people were pleased with how everything went in this game. You know, I just remember this game being very sloppy, and you know, part of it's maybe them being rusty and everything because I believe they had a break before the Big East tournament started. But yeah, the offense getting stagnant, looking a mess. And I was talking with one of my friends about this, and I probably said this before, but Gino's problem is that he's had an over-reliance on Azzi and Sarah. They're the only starters that can consistently generate offense for you, okay? And so he had it in one of the games where he took them off the floor at the same time, could not score without them and everything. So there's that. You see them at times, you know, having to take on more of that facilitating role and everything because the KK of it all. So that's one. And then we know what they're going to do, like Sarah with the rebounds, Azzi with the defense, Sarah's great at defense too, and like all those other things. So it's just putting so much of a load on them because it's not relying on the right role players. He keeps expecting KK and like Ashlyn Shade and also like Ali Zabel, you know, those kind of players to kind of like help more and carry the other load and everything like that and to be contributors. And they're just not enough of contributors in my opinion. Instead of giving K9 more minutes and Jana more minutes and all those other things. Blanca, I'm giving, you know, some, what is it called? Grace because she's knocking off the rust, okay? But like needing more contributions from them and everything. And I think in this game you saw some bad shot selection, okay? I thought the defense was fine, okay? Forced them into a fair amount of turnovers, capitalizing off of that, which was important. I hated the turnovers that we committed as a team. Having to be better with the passing of the basketball and still. So yeah, that's kind of how I felt about this game. So that was my takeaways there. And then really quickly wanted to talk about Azzi Fudd for Jordan Brand. So to those who do not know, Azzi Fudd has officially signed with Jordan Brand, okay? We got some teasers and stuff with this. I think she wore a Jordan Brand shirt. She did a shoot. She was wearing some Jordans and stuff. So we kind of peeped it. But we got the official announcement. And so the photo shoot 8. The nails are stunning, okay? Face card 8. And then the Jordans that she's wearing is really cool. And it's just so her. It's just so her. And just really excited for Azzi and everything. Like, this is super cool. And hopefully she gets her signature shoe in the next few years because I will definitely buy a pair. As we know, Sarah Strong is signed to Jordan Brand. Maya Moore was on Jordan Brand. Gabby Williams, Nafisa Collier, a really good roster. So it was just so cool. And she did a whole podcast episode that was kind of dedicated to her talking about it, what it meant to her, how their shoot was and everything. And she did this right after this game, I believe. And then I'm pretty sure this was the same day that they went to go see the Breeze and the Miss play. Okay, so what a 24 hours for Azzi Fudd. But just super cool, deserving it all. And I told one of my friends this too. But you see how these brands and everything are slowly rolling the way for Azzi to be the #1 pick. Like, they know that it's happening. All these partnerships, all these deals that she's getting back to back to back to back. The brands know what's going on. The people's gonna know what's going on. So, you know, really cool. Then we go on to the next game. This was the semifinal, I believe, okay? This was UConn taking on Creighton. Okay, so they won 151. Azzi Fudd played 24 minutes, had 16 points in this game for you. Okay, 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. And 1 of 1 free throw, 3 rebounds, 6 assists to no turnovers. Thank you, taking care of the ball, okay? She had 3 steals and 1 block, okay? I thought this was a decent game for Azzi, you know? I just continue to enjoy the midi pull-up that she's doing, okay? In one of these games, she got the steal, then she pulled up, and it was a midi in transition. So I thought that was cool, you know, and then being 3 of 4 from 3 and just finding other ways to score in one of these games. She scored in the post. Like, it was too good for me. It was too good for me. Good facilitation in here, the defense, like, just checking all the boxes. So I thought Azzi looked really good in this game and just continuing to play her game and everything, and just really good leadership too. So I was really pleased with what Azzi did in this game overall. Next up, we go on to Sarah Strong. So she played 25 minutes. She had 23 points, 9 for 11 shooting, 4 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 free throw, 7 rebound, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 6 steals again, and 3 blocks. Monster stat line, okay? Going in there and just playing her game, perfect from the 3-point line, getting the rebounds. Like, it was a really good game for Sarah Strong. It really was. So I thought she was fantastic, okay? And then Sarah Williams, she played 6 minutes, had 2 points, 1 for 1 shooting, no threes, no free throws, 2 rebound, no assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and no block. I was disappointed by her in this game because this is the one where she kept fouling everybody, okay? So she was barely on the court because you keep getting in foul trouble. How are you going to be on the court when you get in foul trouble? So wasn't pleased. Ashton Shea, 25 minutes played, 7 points, 3 for 3 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3. No free throws, 1 rebound, 1 assist, no turnover, no steal, and no block. Don't really have much notes for Ashton Shea. It's not a bad stat line, honestly. Then we go on to KK Arnold, 15 minutes, 18 points, 8 for 9 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. No free throws, 1 rebound, 4 assists, no turnover, 2 steal, and no blocks, okay? My overall takeaways on KK Arnold in this game is that this was the legacy game. You look at the stat line, objectively, it's a good game. But I've said this before, I feel like she doesn't know how to balance scoring for herself and involving other people, okay? Because she wasn't leading an assist. Azzi had more assists than her, and K9 had more assists than her and everything. And just multiple times where it's like she felt like every time the ball touches her hand, I have to go score, instead of giving everyone else involved too. Like, there's a way to balance both. So that's just why I was frustrated. And everything. Because I felt Sarah and Azzi did not get enough touches in this game, okay? And then it's like in the first half, they were making something happen for themselves because they were getting the steals, and then they were scoring in transition because KK was not getting them the ball enough and everything. So a balance is important for me. And again, call me a hater, but like, I'm sorry, watching the game, I was irritated, okay? But we move on. We go to the bench. So Blanca played 24 minutes, had 5 points, 1 of 9 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3. 2 free throws. She had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and no block, okay? So this was the game where Blanca really struggled to finish around the basket, just straight up. And so she had some good looks, just not being able to capitalize off of that and everything. Only 1 turnover, which is good. But yeah, she just struggled in this game, straight up. Was not her best, okay? And then we go on to Yana. So she had 2 points, not much to talk about. And then Jana, she played 15 minutes, 7 points, 3 for 5 shooting, no threes, 1 of 1 free throws, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnover, no steal, and no block, okay? I thought she looked good. Hitting some nice shots for you. One of these games, she had a midi. It was cash. I was like, okay, Jana. Getting the rebound. She sets really good screens, and half the time they don't even use the screens. And like I say, I want her to have more minutes with the starters, but I thought she looked good. I thought she came in. I thought she made an impact, okay? And then Khalees, 6 minutes, no points. Again, not much to talk about. K9, 23 minutes played. She had 9 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3. No free throws, 8 rebound. She was the leading rebounder in this game, y'all. Let that set in, okay? And so she had 7 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks, okay? And so I thought K9, yeah, it was too good. It was too good in this game. One of these games, but she had a really cool A&1, okay? So just knowing when to call her own number, getting everybody else involved. She had 8 rebounds in this game. I don't know. She was everywhere. I really like what K9's doing for UConn, and this was a really good pickup for Gino in the portal. Ali Isabel, 22 minutes played. She had 8 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throw. She had 3 rebound and no assists, no turnover, 1 steal, and no block. She's not consistent, like I've said, and bad on defense, okay? And she cannot dribble the ball. She has no handles. I don't know why Gino keeps trying to have this lineup where she tries to facilitate. It's not good, okay? And then Azzi have to end up taking over. You have to be able to dribble the ball to facilitate. Like, let's be for real. And then Caroline, 8 minutes played, 3 points. So that was everybody for that game. I'll put the stats for Creighton on there so you can see that, okay? Scoring by quarter. 9-29, 13-28, 16-25, and 13-18. Ultimately, UConn wins 151, okay? And then leaders in points, rebounds, and assists. Sarah Strong with 23 points, K9 with 8 rebounds, and K9 with 7 assists to 1 turnover, okay? We love it. Townsend with 13 points, number 42 with 7 rebounds, and number 13 with 4 assists, okay? And then advanced stats. So UConn from the field was 40 of 70, 57%, 14 of 22 from 3, 64%, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 75%, 43 total rebounds in this one, okay, 17 offensive and 26 defensive, okay. You saw 27 assists in this one, 13 steal, 4 block, 8 turnover, keeping the turnover low. We appreciate that, okay. 33 points off of turnovers, which is good. And then you saw 23 fast breaker transition points, 44 points in the paint, 13 foul, no tech, largely was 52, and percent was 98. For Creighton, 18 of 54 from the field, 33%, 9 of 33 from 3, which is going to be 27%, 6 of 10 from the free throw line, which is going to be 60%, 25 total rebound, you had 12 offensive and 13 defensive, 15 assists, 4 steal, 2 block, 19 total turnover, 11 points off of turnovers, 2 fast breaker transition points, 18 points in the paint, 14 foul, no tech largely was 0, and percent led was going to be 0, okay? Overall thoughts in this game, the 3 ball was looking good, okay, when we're 14 of 22 from 3. So I thought that was really positive for us in this game, and I thought it was a lot better than the game the previous day, okay? I said I thought that was sloppy, but I thought that the offense ran a lot better, at least in the first half. The second half, it kind of started progressing, but I thought it looked a lot better in the first half, okay? Got the 100 ball. Like I said, a lot of these games should be 100 balls, but whenever you don't capitalize with your opportunities and stuff, and make mistakes, that's what happened. But it was 100 ball, so those are things that we like to see, okay? UConn out rebounded in this game, which was huge, okay? Still room to be desired with the moving the ball, like I always say. Like I say, I feel like KK messed up the flow of the offense in this game, if you actually go back and watch, okay? So I wasn't pleased with that, okay? And tired of seeing AZ run cardio, because it genuinely gets to a point. I thought that the defense was fine in this game, you know, forcing them into a fair amount of turnovers, capitalizing off of that, still giving up some stuff that we shouldn't, you know? But yeah, and then, as I said before, why would he put Sarah and AZ on the bench at the same time? That makes no sense. But that's my over takeaways on that game. And then we had the Big East Championship versus Villanova, okay? And so ultimately, UConn gets the win in this game. The final score was going to be 90-51, okay? And so on to the stats for this one. Azzi Fudd played 27 minutes. She had 19 points, 8 for 13 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3. No free throws, 1 rebound, no assist, 3 turnover, 3 steal, and no block, okay? Really enjoyed what I saw from Azzi this game, and just the amount of joy and confidence that she's playing with this season is just so heartwarming to see. And I just really enjoy watching her play her game, not letting herself get sped up, finding ways to manipulate defense, scoring in multiple ways, and that's what you saw her doing this game. 3 threes, 8 of 13 from the field. Just efficient. So just really enjoying what she's putting on tape time after time, okay? And then I will say I don't understand why Jasmine Bosco wasn't her defensive assignment yet again in this game. I don't understand Gina with that, but I really liked what I was seeing from Azzi in this game, okay? Some important stuff to know from Azzi is with this game, now she has 100 threes, 100 stocks, which is steals and blocks combined, to those who don't know them, and 100 assists this season, okay? So that's just an incredible record for Azzi, okay? So we love to see that. Also, Azzi was named to the all-tournament team, which was so richly deserved, okay? So those are things that I definitely wanted to highlight for Azzi Fudd, okay? One of my GOATs. And then we go on to baby goat Sarah Strong. So she played 22 minutes, had 18 points, 7 for 11 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 8 rebound, 1 assist, 3 turnover, 2 steal, and 1 block. Yeah. Sarah did some nice stuff in this game. There was one move she had in this game. She did a jab step, and then she did that into a spin move and finished at the basket. Yeah, that was good for me. Hitting some wide open threes for you, rebound and defense. I know I said a lot of the same things that I like, but these are things that I like for these players, okay? Sarah looked real good in this game. Capitalizing off the opportunities. Yes. And just being Sarah Strong, being efficient, okay? Best sophomore in the country, okay? Sarah Azzi, best duo in the country. Like, this is generational hoops. I won't let anybody tell me otherwise. But yeah, Sarah did her big one, okay? And now we get on to 2 things for Sarah specifically. So number 1, she is on this list of players who average 18 plus points a game and 2 steals in a single season, okay? So it's her for this year with 18.5 points and 3.4 steals. And the company that she's with, Paige Beckers, another one of my goats, okay? Maya Moore and Akeisha Sales. So that's awesome company for Sarah to be in. And she was also named the most outstanding player for the Big East tournament, which of course, she did her thing. And I really love this one photo of Azzi putting the confetti on her afterwards, okay? And then this other photo too, but my Shayla, like she ate so bad. And then in the interview, it was so funny, the confetti that they were throwing on her. She was trying so hard to not bust out laughing. If you see any of her interviews, she's always on the verge of laughing. So that was funny. And so yeah, the team wins the Big East tournament. I'll put the photo on of the whole team photo. So I thought that was cool. Now on to everyone else, okay? So Sarah Williams played 18 minutes in this one, had 8 points, 3 of 5 shooting, no threes attempted, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. She had 6 rebounds, no assists, no turnover, no steal, and 1 block, okay? So it was decent. It was decent from what I can remember, okay? Ashton Shade, 23 minutes played. She had 2 points, 1 for 2 shooting, 0-1 from 3, no free throw, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnover, no steal, no block. Not much to say again about Ashton Shade in this game, in my opinion. And then we go on to KK Arnold, 19 minutes played. She had 10 points, 4 of 5 shooting, no threes, 2 of 2 free throw, 4 rebounds, 7 assists to 1 turnover, 3 steal, and no block, okay? So for me, it was better than the last game because, you know, getting others involved more, okay? Good assist to turnover ratio, and you should be leading every game in assists, okay? So things that I was happy to see, but also this is what we should be doing all the time, okay? And I have to say this, I have to get this off my chest, but I did go live for this game. If you guys are watching me on YouTube, you guys can check it out. And why did I see on live, and I saw on Twitter, people talking about, oh, KK could be most outstanding player for the Big East tournament. Even Jesus rested. Y'all cannot be serious. After watching the Big East tournament, like, it genuinely gets to a point. So those are 2 things that I had to get off of my chest, okay? And then we go into the bench. Blanca played 18 minutes. She had 13 points, 5 for 10 from the field, shooting 0-3 from 3, 3 of 4 free throws. She had no rebound, no assists, no turnover, 3 steals, and no blocks in this game. I thought Blanca looked really good. Okay, you know, had some struggles in the Big East tournament and, you know, just trying to knock off the rust, as I already said. But I thought that she looks good in this game, okay? Getting the ball to go through the hoop, taking some nice shots. I think she had a couple and ones in this game, too. Being able to be good on the defensive end, too. So just wanting to continue to see Blanca trend upward as we get to the March Madness tournament. And it's going to be her first one, so I thought it was good. Yana, 5 minutes, 2 points, not much to talk about. Jana, 13 minutes, 4 points, 1 for 2 shooting. No threes, 2 of 2 free throw, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnover, no steal, and 2 blocks. Always putting up a respectable stat line at a time, as I say. And then we go on to Khalees, 5 minutes, no points. K9, 19 minutes, 6 points, 2 for 4 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnover, no stealing, no block. Had some good stuff in this game, okay? Allie Isabel, 19 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 3 of 4 free throw, 3 rebound, 1 assist, no turnover, no steal, and no block. So you know how I feel. Caroline, 11 minutes and no points. Okay, so that is everybody for UConn in this game. I went to Villanova in this game. I'll put their stats on the screen so you can see that. Jasmine Bosco, 5 of 19 from the field, Lord. Scoring by quarter in this one, okay? So first quarter, 11 to 23. Second quarter, 12 to 26. Third quarter, 19 to 22. And fourth quarter, 9 to 19. Ultimately, UConn wins 90 to 51. Leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Azzi Fudd leading the way with 19 points. Janet with 9 rebounds. And KK Arnold with 7 assists to 1 turnover. For Villanova, Jasmine Bosco, 14 points. Henry with 7 rebounds. And Henry with 3 assists to 2 turnovers, Lord. Advanced stats in this game. UConn was 34-65 from the field, which is going to be 52%. 7 to 22 from 3, so definitely below the average, 32%. 15 to 21 from the free throw line. We missed 6 free throws in this game, Lord, 71%. 49 total rebound, okay? 13 offensive and 36 defensive, okay? And this number is going to fool you. There was multiple times we should have came down with rebounds that we didn't, okay? So even though it's a high number, I wasn't pleased with the rebounding. And I know that sounds backwards, but if you watch the game, some rebounds we definitely should have came down with for sure, okay? And then 14 assists, 11 steal, 4 block, 12 total turnover, 18 points off of turnovers, 21 fast breaker transition points, 48 points in the paint, 10 foul, no tech, large sleeves 42, and percent levels 98. For Villanova, 18 of 66 from the floor, which is going to be 27%. 7 of 37 from 3, lower 37 threes, 19%, and then 8 of 11 from the free throw line, 73%, 34 total rebound, 12 offensive and 22 defensive, 11 assists, 9 steal, 3 block, 15 total turnover committed, and you had 13 points off of turnovers, 2 fast break or transition points, 18 points in the paint, 16 foul, no tech, largely was 0, and percent level 0. Overall takeaways on this game, some of the stuff I've been saying for the other games, kind of just felt sloppy, you know, had some backbreaking turnovers in this one. And part of that was due to Villanova just anticipating stuff, jumping to passing lane, being able to score off of that, but a lot of it, you know, was careless passing. So I did not enjoy the turnovers in this game, okay? And also partially that had to be due to fatigue as well, because in these tournaments, they play back to back to back. There's not a day in between the games, which I feel like there should be, you know, just so the players can heal up, do their recovery, and play at their best, you know, and everything. I think that they should do that, but there's no breaks, you know, so there's something there there. Like I said, needed more rebounds. And we usually force more turnovers. We forced them into, 15 turnovers this game. I believe we averaged like 24 or something. So, yeah, the defense was fine. But, yeah, and then bad perimeter defense. I heard apparently Gino shortens his rotations for the March Madness tournament, like Sweet 16 and onward, which I'm pleased by, okay, because these are things that we needed to see. And I'm actually going to be going and seeing March Madness and everything. Selection Sunday has not happened yet at the time I'm recording this video. It will be happening tomorrow, and I will talk about that next week. And so basically, it's already predicted that UConn's going to be in Fort Worth, so I just bought the tickets anyways. And so I got a good deal. So I will be at March Madness. So excited to see that, excited to see that. Now I transition into talking about the SEC tournament, okay? There was a lot of games that happened in the SEC tournament, okay? So some of them, I'm kind of just going to throw the stats up on the screen and give overall thoughts because there's just so much to cover. And then I had the Big Ten tournament to talk about as well and everything. So yeah, I'm going to focus on some of the more key games, some of the more interesting games to talk about the stat lines for. That's just, what I want to do. But first off, we have Kentucky taking on Arkansas. Okay, Kentucky ends up getting that dub 94-64. Okay, so this was in the first round of the SEC tournament. Okay, so I'll just say some important things that you needed to know. Kentucky played well in this game. Claire Strack had 22 minutes played, 20 points, 10 for 12 shooting, no threes, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 13 rebound, no assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and 3 blocks. Okay, looks good, look good. Claire Strack is a 3-level scorer. Okay, you see her get into that mid range. You see her being able to score from 3. Just in general and in this tournament. I'll talk about the next game, which was really good. And then also being able to finish. So just really stretch big in where the position's going to. She can rebound, she can defend. So she was great. Hassett had 18 points. She was on fire, 6 of 11 from 3. And then Tiana Key, perfect, 12 points, 5 of 5 from the field. Boone 10 points, Tony Morgan 14 points, 5 for 10. Okay, and Obi gave you 14 points off the bench. Okay, Arkansas, Talia Jones was the leading scorer, 21 points, but she was 7 of 18 from the field. Okay, the scoring by quarter 10-29, 23-13, 10-28, and 21-24. And on the advanced stats, some key stuff to know. Kentucky just shot better. They were 49% from the field, and Arkansas was 36% from the field. Okay, so they made 10 threes in this game, which was huge. Okay, capitalized more at the free throw line when they had the opportunities. They out-rebounded 52-27 is absolutely insane. They had more turnovers, which is insane, but they had more points off of turnovers. Okay, had more points in the paint. Like pretty much every statistical category they dominated. So those are the key things to know for this game, and some of the stats. But my overall takeaway is the 3-ball was on fire when you hit 10 threes in a game. Okay, Hassan and Boone 8. I thought that the facilitation by Tony Morgan in this game was so good. Okay, just multiple times finding your shooters and making something happen. So I really liked her facilitation. Clara was cooking her fadeaway jumper, cash. Okay, no Nafisa Collier, period. And I got my Nafisa Collier basketball right here. And I thought that the defense was really good in this game, and his bench is kind of mid. Arkansas had some success with the zone. I think Kentucky played some zone too, but they couldn't score enough. They had looks, but Kentucky always has an answer. So that's how I felt about that game. And then we had Kentucky playing against Georgia. Okay, so I'll definitely go into the stats for this one. Okay, so score was 76-61. Okay, so this was the second round. And so in this one, Claire Strack went off 34 minutes, 33 points. 33 points, okay? And so she was 12 of 22 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 4 of 4 free throw, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Fantastic, okay? And she hit some record with the threes. I think it was like someone like 6'5" and above with like most threes this century or something when you hit 5 threes in the game. Like, she was cash from 3. Like I said, it's all there. The fadeaway jumper, finishing at the rim, the midi. Like, she just looked really good this game. She looked really good this game. And they couldn't stop her. Okay, had some key stuff on the defensive end as well when you had 3 blocks and 1 steal in this game. So, she really did it all. She was dynamic. Just really enjoyed watching her play. Okay, so there's some things there. She got to stay out of foul trouble, 1. And 2, I'm glad she made the free throws in this game, but generally we got to make more of the free throws. But I really do enjoy her. Okay, so she went off. Hassett, 7 points. In this one, 1 of 5 from the field and from 3. 4 free throw, 4 rebound, 4 assists, no turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block. So she kind of just went cold, honestly. Tiana Key, she played 34 minutes, 14 points, 6 of 10 shooting, no threes, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 12 rebound, 1 assist, 5 turnovers. I can't praise that. Okay. No steals and 1 block though, but I thought she looked good. She's been huge for them. Okay. Boone, 17 minutes, no points, 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. No free throws, 1 rebound. She had 4 assists, no turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks, okay? So it wasn't great. And Morgan, 39 minutes, 14 points, 6 of 11 shooting, 0 2 from 3. 2 4 from the free throw line, no rebound, 7 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and no block, okay? So she was able to come through whenever it mattered, okay? So I thought she did some good stuff, obviously, and good assist to turnover ratio. And then you really did not get much from the bench. And then they'll put Georgia on for this. And so Carnegie is probably their best player, but she was 7 of 21 from the field with 18 points. So that's what you need to know there. Scoring by quarter, 20-16, 15-20, 19-13, and 22-12. Ultimately, Kentucky wins 76-61. Leaders for points, rebounds, and assists: Claire Strack with 33 points, Tiana Key with 12 rebounds, and Toni Morgan with 7 assists and 2 turnover. For Georgia, Carnegie with 18 points, Carnegie with 4 rebounds, and Carnegie with 4 assists to 1 turnover. So she was doing it all, okay? And then we continue on from the field. So Kentucky was 28 of 56 from the field, which is a perfect 50%, which is really good. And then they were 6 of 17 from 3, Lord. 35%, no Azzi Fudd. 14 of 20 from the free throw line, which is going to be 70%. 35 total rebounds, again, no Azzi Fudd. 8 offensive and 27 defensive. 19 assists, 3 steals, 7 block, 8 total turnover, 14 points off of turnovers, 2 fast breaker transition points, 32 points in the paint, 13 foul committed, no tech, largely was 16, and percent led was 83. For Georgia, 25 of 60 from the field, which is going to be 42%. 5 of 26 from 3, which is going to be 19%. 6 of 8 from the free throw line, which is going to be 75%. 26 total rebound, 8 offensive, 18 defensive. 10 assists, 2 steal, no block. 8 total turnover committed. 8 points off of turnovers, 2 fast breaker transition points. 28 points in the paint, 22 foul, no tech. Largely was 3, and percent led was going to be 7. Overall thoughts: Claire Strack, such a demon. Things that we already knew. Okay, so that's 1. Tiana Key, excellent in this game. Really enjoyed her. Morgan turned it on in the second half for the team. Okay, didn't get much from everyone else, like I said. Okay, Georgia played some good defense. The help side was solid. They got some good turnovers off of it and playing zone. And Kentucky's zone, I thought, was decent. Okay, I was kind of concerned by their defense in this game, but part of that may have been due to fatigue. It was a close game, and then Kentucky got separation in the fourth quarter. Okay, and like I said, they don't have a bench. Okay, so there was that. And then we had Oklahoma taking on Florida. So I'll just kind of give you the gist of this one. But Oklahoma wins 82-64, okay? So what do you need to know? So I'll just read the points for the starting lineup. Sahara Williams, 6 points, but she was 2 of 9. So it wasn't great. Reagan Beers, 18 points, 7 of 10. Okay, so having a good game. I'm pretty sure she got in foul trouble in this game because it happens to her every single time. Okay, and so there's that. She did hit a 3. So there's that. City of Norman, 17 points. She was 6 of 17. Okay, so shot selection, continuing to have to hone in on those things. We know how she gets guarded and all those other things, and I think that's part of the reason why she takes so many threes in transition, because that's the only time she can get open. Okay, and then Zaya Van, 14 minutes, 6 of 12 efficient. Verhulst, 6 points. She was 3 of 7. You got some good stuff from sort off the bench, though. She was 12 points. She had 4 or 5, okay? And so, yeah. And then things to know for Florida. Liv McGill had 28 points, but she was 7 of 21 from the field, okay? Like, it genuinely gets to a point. And she also had 9 turnovers in this game, too. I can't praise that, okay? So that's what you need to know with the scoring, okay? And I'll have the stuff on the screen, of course. And so you get to the scoring by quarter. The first quarter tied 22-22. Second quarter 16-18. And the third quarter is one that really broke open for Oklahoma. 7-27 and then 19-15. Ultimately, Oklahoma wins 82-64. Okay, leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Reagan Beers with 18 points, and Reagan Beers also has 7 rebounds. Sahara Williams with 7 assists and 2 turnover. For Florida, Liv McGill, 28 points. She led in rebounds with 8, and then assists with 49. One of the worst assist to turnover ratios I've seen. And then I just have the advanced stats for you guys on the screen. So what you need to know is that Oklahoma just shot better than Georgia from the field. Overall, 36% to 43%. They had more assists. They had a little bit more steals. They turned over the ball less. Had more points in the paint. So they led in pretty much every key stat. So basically what happened in this game, I feel the same way about Oklahoma having problems with the half-court offense and relying a lot on transition stuff and playing, you know, sloppy and stuff like that sometimes. You guys know how I feel, and I'll go into that more in the next game. And then I just knew that Florida was going to choke because every game I've watched them in, it's the same thing that happens. They look good in the first half. The second half, they always don't show up in the second half, and then the other team adjusts to them, and they did what they need to do, and they outscored them, and they locked them up. So that's basically the gist of that game. And then we had LSU taking on Oklahoma, okay? So LSU won 112-78, okay? So this was just Bell, okay? And so important things to know in this game overall, we look at the stat lines, okay? Keiko Oval, 13 minutes, she had 6 points, 2 of 2 shooting, no threes, 2 of 5 from the free throw line. How you missed 3 free throws? 6 rebound, no assist, 1 turnover, no steal, no block. Y'all know how I feel about Keiko Oval. I move on to Zakiya Johnson, 17 minutes played, 9 points, 4 of 5 shooting, no threes, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 rebound, no assist, 1 turnover, no steal, and 1 block, okay? So I like Zakiya Johnson, okay? And I always appreciate her rebounding effort because she be out rebounding Kay Koval and also Amia Joyner. And she's a guard. Okay? She playing out of position, okay? And she's just a crafty player. She plays really hard. I enjoy her. Jada Richard, 29 minutes played. She had 13 points, 6 of 9 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3. No free throws, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and no blocks. So she did some good stuff. That mini pull-up, she's going to get to that every time, okay? And then Michaela Williams, 27 minutes, 14 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. 2 free throw, 4 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. Looked good in this game, okay? Able to capitalize. And then Flage, 22 minutes, she had 21 points, 8 for 15 shooting, 4 of 7 from 3, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. She had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks, okay? So my takeaways in this game for Flage, to be honest with y'all, the thing that frustrated me is she did not show up until the fourth quarter. Before that, it was like, where's Flage at in this game, okay? And then it was like the Duke game. Once the game was already decided, it's like Flage didn't feel any pressure, and then that's when she started going off. And I'm pretty sure this is the game she hit her 2,000 career points in, so shout out to Flage for that achievement and everything. But it's just like, you went off once the game was already decided. Like, you weren't part of the reason why the game was decided, okay? And so that's kind of how I felt. That's kind of how I felt about Flage in this game, and just needing her to play like this all the time and with the confidence. I think that's the thing that gets me with her, okay? And so there's those things. And then the bench, Grace Knox, 9 points. She was 4 of 10, though. Lord. And then Joyner, 7 points. She was 3 of 7. Only 5 rebound. Okay. Divine, 1 point. Bella Hines, 10 points. She was 3 of 4. Okay, so that's good. Mylasia, she had 23 minutes played, 22 points, but she was 7 of 18 from the field. Okay, it gets to a point. Okay, she was 3 of 8 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 rebound, 8 assists, 4 turnover, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Okay, if you've been here before, you know how I feel about Mylasia, but like I said, a lot of it is just fancy finishes to contested layups, okay, and just having to do better with the decision making. So I think it was those things that frustrated me, because 7 of 18 from the field. Oklahoma, what you need to know, City Norman had a 20 ball, but she was 6 of 16 from the field. So it's just a rough shooting day for her. Sahara Williams, 19 points. She was 5 of 11. Reagan Beers, only 6 points, 3 of 6. And so I don't know why she didn't get more touches. You know, I didn't understand those things. Zyvan, it wasn't good. 7 points, 2 of 13. Verholz, 8 points, 3 of 13. And then the bench just continually, you don't get much. Scoring by quarter, 19 to 28, 14 to 17, 16 to 27, and 29 to 40. Okay, so yeah. The second half was really big for LSU. That's when it took over, 112 to 78. Leadership points, rebounds, and assists. Mylasia with 22 points. Akia Johnson with 8 rebounds, and Mylasia for Wiley with 8 assists to 4 turnovers in this game. For Oklahoma, City Normal with 20 points. Sarah Williams with 9 rebounds, and Peyton Hurls with 4 assists to 5 turnovers. Good God. And then we'll continue advanced stats in this game. Okay, so LSU was 42 of 80 from the field, which is going to be 52%. 13 of 24 from 3, which is going to be 54%. And that's a lot better than they typically are from 3, so that was huge for them in this game. 15 of 25 from the free throw line. How you miss 10 free throws? Okay, 60%. So then they had 47 total rebounds in this one. Okay, 16 offensive and 31 defensive. 19 assists, 9 steal, 8 blocks. 18 total turnovers in this game. 35 points off of turnovers. Oop, no Azzi. 22 fouls per decision points, 48 points in the paint. They had 26 fouls, no tech. Largely was 37, and percent light was going to be 98. For Oklahoma, 26 of 72 from the field, which is going to be 36%. 5 of 21 from 3, which is going to be 24%. 21 of 28 from the free throw line, which is going to be 75%. 45 total rebound, 8 offensive and 27 defensive. 16 assists, 8 steal, 5 block, 22 total turnovers, 17 points off of turnovers, 8 fast breaker decision points, 34 points in the paint, 27 foul, no tech. Largely was 100% led, was going to be 1. Down to my overall takeaways on this basketball game. Okay, like I said before, this Oklahoma team is just not good enough to make a real deep run in the March Madness, tournament. And so I feel like City Norman needs somebody who's elite in the backcourt with her. Like, Zyvan's good, but she's not elite. Like, and that's no shade, honestly. Okay, and like I said, she has to have better shot selection. 2 things can be true at once. And so, yeah, okay, Reagan Beers always getting in foul trouble is not going to help you in the games. Okay, and so we'll see what they look like next year and everything. But yeah, like this Sweet 16 exit coming again. Their zone defense gets fried every single game. Okay, so these are things we saw coming. Rely too much on the transition offense, the half-court offense a mess. You play sloppy and have 22 turnovers, you're not winning the game. And LSU played sloppy as well, with the turnovers that they had, because they had in this game 18 turnovers, okay? So, yeah, not much better with the turnovers and everything, but they just outscored. They just had more to give offensively. Flage, 20 ball, Mylasia, 20 ball. I thought that the rest were inconsistent in this game as well, but yeah, LSU, the second half, they were just pouring it on. And Oklahoma couldn't do nothing about it, okay? So, we'll see what happens, but like I said, I don't think they'll go far in the tournament, okay? Next game we'll talk about is Kentucky and South Carolina, okay? So this was going to be the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. So we had South Carolina winning 87 to 64, okay? So pretty good win for them, I would say. And so we go into the advanced stats. Joyce, she played 23 minutes, had 21 points, 8 for 12 shooting, no threes, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steal, and no block. Joyce did what she needed to do in this game. Efficient from the field, having some good stuff on defense, making most of the free throws. I would like to see more rebounds, because why do you only have 4 rebounds as a post? I do have a problem with that, but for the most part, I thought she played well, okay? And that's what she needed. Medina Okot, she played 23 minutes, 12 points, 5 for 10 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 13 rebound, and she had 2 assists, 1 turnover, 3 steals, and 1 block. So I thought she looked good. Okay. And then we have Tessa Johnson, one of my demons, bro. I love Tessa Johnson. Y'all know this. But she played 17 minutes, 15 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, 2 of 2 free throws. She had no rebound, 3 assists, no turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks. Okay. So Tessa, you can't leave her wide open from 3. And I'm pretty sure this was the game where she was hitting those deep threes too. Yeah, it was cash. Okay, so just enjoying her offensive profile. She can create whenever she needs to, but she's also just a really good spot-up shooter, which is huge for her. And then, like I said, her defense is terrible, and that's something that has to be worked on because she can't guard nobody. And it gets to a point with Tessa. It does with the defense. But I am a Tessa Johnson enjoyer. It's true. It's in. Okay. We continue tonight. Latson, 24 minutes played, 11 points, 3 for 6 shooting, 0-1 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 1 rebound. She had 6 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and no blocks. So it was fine. Raven, 26 minutes played, 7 points, 3 for 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, no free throw, 2 rebound, 5 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So again, it was fine. The bench, Tornabees, she had 14 minutes played, 3 points, 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 rebound, no assist, no turnover, no steal, and 1 block. Tornabees still trying to learn. She be getting in foul trouble and committing offensive fouls, so still things to learn for Tornabees, okay? And then Dowda, 17 minutes, you got 5 points, okay? So it's probably one of the better games she's had. McKeer, she gave you 6 points, McDowell, 0 points, and McDaniel gave you 7 points. So that's everybody for South Carolina. And then for Kentucky, okay? Was a starter. Claire Strack, 23 minutes played, 11 points, 5 for 8 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, no free throws, 5 rebound, no assists, 5 turnovers committed in this game. That was painful for me. That was backbreaking for me. 1 steal and 2 blocks, okay? So it's not a bad stat line, the turnover. I can't praise that like I just said, okay? I think South Carolina did a good job in playing good defense and limiting her, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but that was Clara. Hassett, 28 minutes played, 15 points, 5 for 5 shooting, 5 of 5 from 3, no free throw, 5 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnover, and she had no steal and no lock. So she bounced back. She had a good game. Tiana Key, 25 minutes played. She had 13 points, 5 for 12 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 free throw, 8 rebound, no assist, 2 turnover, no steal, no block. So it wasn't bad for her in this game. In the first half, I felt like they should have had more touches and stuff, and they should have run the offense more through her because they were limiting Claire in this game, like I said. But I thought she had some nice stuff. Boone, 33 minutes played, 10 points, 3 of 11 shooting. Good Lord. 3 of 7 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and she had no rebound, 3 assists, 3 turnover, no steal and no blocks. So it's not good. And then Morgan, 33 minutes played, 9 points, 4 of 9 shooting, 0-1 from 3, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. She had 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 turnovers. Oh my God, no steal, no block. And the bench, you literally got nothing from the bench besides Obi, who gave you 6 points. Scoring by quarter, 16-22, 11-22, 18-24, and 19-19. Ultimately, South Carolina wins 87-64. Okay. And then we look leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Joyce with 21 points, Okot with 13 rebounds, and Latson with 6 assists. For Kentucky, Hassett with 15 points, Key with 8 rebounds, and Morgan with 7 assists to 4 turnover. Lord. And now advanced stats, okay? South Carolina was 31 of 59 from the field, which is going to be 53%. 6 of 12 from 3, which is going to be 50%. 19 of 26 from the free throw line, which is going to be 73%. 36 total rebound, 9 offensive, and 27 defensive. 21 assists, 10 steal, 4 block, 11 total turnover, 25 points off of turnovers, 15 fast break transition points, 46 points in the paint. 14 foul, no tech, largest was 26, and percent level was 93. And then for Kentucky, 25 of 58 from the field, which is going to be 43%. 10 to 20 from the three-point line, which is going to be 50%. 4 of 7 from the free throw line, which is going to be 57%. 30 total rebounds, 6 offensive, 24 defensive, 13 assists, 3 steal, 3 block, 19 total turnover, 8 points off of turnovers, and you had no fast break points, 24 points in the paint, 19 foul, no tech, largely was 3%, level was 4. Overall takeaways on this game for me, okay? I think that South Carolina just outplayed them from the jump off. We're going to keep it real, okay? And so I thought they had elite defense in this game, flying around, forcing contested looks, got them to have a lot of turnovers in this game, held them to 0 points in transition, like their help side defense in this one, a little zone in this one too. So I thought that South Carolina just dominated on both sides of the ball. I thought that they ran their offense smoother. They know what they wanted to do. Dawn said that it was going to be really important for them to push the pace, get out in transition, and that's what they did this whole game. They just controlled the game, okay? Kentucky, they played some zone. It didn't work. It didn't work at all, and I think that they were partially fatigued. And like I said, South Carolina did a really good job of limiting Clara Strack in this game, okay? And so you just needed more from everyone else, which you didn't really get, okay? And Dawn outcoached Kenny Brooks, I believe is his name. So that was my takeaways on this game, okay? Next game that we go on to is going to be LSU playing South Carolina, okay? This was low-key my Super Bowl. This was low-key my Super Bowl, bro. That regular season meeting ate down for me, so I was really ready for a rematch, and we got that, okay? And so ultimately, South Carolina ends up getting the dub, 83-77, okay? So we look at everybody. So Joyce played 40 minutes in this one at 18 points, 7 for 13 shooting, no threes, 4 or 5 from the free throw line, 11 rebound, a double-double, okay? 3 assists, 3 turnover, 1 steal, and 2 blocks, okay? In the beginning of this game, she did not play well, okay? And typically in big matchups, it's like she forgets how to play basketball. She looks like a deer in headlights and just has bad shot selection, and she don't be coming through, okay? And at least what I've seen this year, okay? In Gamecock FC, they do not be pleased with her, if you see on Twitter. And so, you know, I kind of thought we were going down that road again. The second half, she really locked in, and she made some key buckets, able to have some good stuff on defense. She got her rebounds, so she really locked in the second half, okay? So Joyce did what she needed to do. Okot played 25 minutes in this one, had 8 points, and 4-14 from the field. Good God. 0-1 from 3, no free throws, 13 rebound, another double-double, 1 assist, 2 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block. In the first half, or at least the first 3 quarters, she did not play well, okay? She missed so many easy layups in this game, and it was really back-breaking for me in this game. And so just some frustration, okay? In the fourth quarter, made some key shots, okay? But before that, it was not pretty. So there are some things for Medina Okada in this game, okay? And then we go on to Tessa Johnson. 36 minutes played, 11 points, 4 for 13 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, 1 of 2 free throw, 5 rebound, 3 assists, 3 turnover, 2 steal, and no blocks in this game, okay? So it just wasn't her best shooting the basketball. Part of that is having some open looks and not being able to capitalize off of that, but I think that LSU did a lot better job limiting her in this game and playing some good defense and forcing her to take some harder shots than they did the first time. Because the first time, I mean, she just really ate them alive in the game. And so I feel like, you know, they did some better things with that. I already said my feelings about the defense that she plays, but, you know, just wasn't her best. But we got double digits, so hey. Latson, 32 minutes played. She had 19 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 0-1 from the 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. She had 1 rebound, 1 assist, no turnover, no steal, and no block. So Latson came to play. Latson came to play, making the key shots when he needed it, and also she loves to foul bait, no shade. She got herself to the free throw line, capitalizing off of that. But Latson had a good game, and it was needed because I don't believe she played well the last time that they played against each other. Wasn't she 1 of 10 from the field or something? I might be getting that wrong, so feel free to correct me. But yeah, she came through. Okay. Raven, 35 minutes played. She had 22 points, 9 for 14 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. No free throws in this one. She had 3 rebound, 8 assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and no block, okay? And so, objectively, Raven had a good game. Raven had a good game, okay? They left her open multiple times. She made them pay, okay? When you hit 4 threes in the game and just finding other ways to score and just being able to, you know, slow down the offense and get everyone kind of doing what they needed to do, okay? And just having that experience and then a good assist-to-turnover ratio when we have 8 assists to 1 turnover, okay? So, Raven did her thing, and she was huge for South Carolina in this game multiple ways, and then we know she plays good defense too, okay? So there's that. Dowda, 2 points, Makir, 0 points, and Manny Badano, 3 points. So you didn't really get much from the bench in this basketball game. For LSU in this game, Joyner played 29 minutes, had 9 points, 4 for 7 shooting, no threes, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 11 rebound, no assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and 1 block, okay? So, I mean, I had some good stuff in this game, but I'm just continually not moved with the Amir Joyner experience, okay? And the LSU fans are not moved either. She got to get serious about that post next year because you cannot be serious with Amir Joyner and Kate Cole on the post, and you thought that that was going to be enough. You need elite post players, and she does not have that at LSU. So, yeah, and then there was a situation in the game when her and Malaysia were not in the same place because I think that she came late to set the screen, so, like, there was that too. So, there was that. And then we go to Zakiya Johnson. She played 7 minutes, no points, 0-2 from the field. No threes attempted, no free throws. She had 3 rebound, no assists, 1 turnover, no steal, no block. For the life of me, I do not understand why she played only 7 minutes, okay? I think that she's done some really nice stuff for LSU. She plays hard. I don't understand why she made that decision, okay? And then Richard, 40 minutes played, 17 points, 7 of 12 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3. And she had no free throws, 5 rebound, 4 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So she was efficient. She was efficient. I don't believe she played well when they played South Carolina the first time, okay? So she locked in. She locked in. Like I said, she's going to get to that mini pull-up every time. Left her open from 3 a couple times. Made them pay. So I thought she looked good in this game, okay? And so there's that. Michaela Williams, 32 minutes played. She had 14 points, 5 of 12 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 free throws, 7 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. So I think it was decent. I wouldn't say it was bad and everything, but I think objectively you needed more in this game from her to take you over the top. She did hit a big 3 at the end, so I'll definitely give her credit in that. But there's just multiple times I watched the games, she just completely disappears from the game, okay? And part of that's the defense that they're playing on her, and then just sometimes when she makes some bad decisions with the ball and everything like that, and just like wanting the ball to be in your hand in those bigger moments and everything. And so, yeah, those are the things to say about Michaela Williams in this game. And then we have Flage. So she played 31 minutes in this game, 6 points, 1 of 8 shooting, and 0-3 from the 3, 4-4 from the free throw line, 2 rebound, 5 assists. Okay, she had 3 turnovers, no steal, and no block. Like I've said before, and it pains me because I'm a Flage enjoyer, she's a choke artist in the big games. We see it multiple times, okay? And it genuinely just got to a point for me. It got to a point for me. And I've said this before, and I think I said this in my last episode, but you know that Kim Mulkey does not trust her in the clutch situations, in the big situations, because most of that fourth quarter, she was on the bench. Every time Kim Mulkey wants to go on a run, she puts Flage on the bench, and then she puts her back in after they're done going on the run. And that just shows me that she doesn't trust Flage, and from the post-game presser, it seems like she's ready to move on from Flage. So just being disappointed, not showing up in the moments where it matters most for Flage, okay? So I say those things, okay? The bench, Grace Knox, 7 points. She was 3 of 6, okay? So, I mean, it was fine. Kay Koval, you literally had 0 points off the bench, and she only played 3 minutes. Hines only played 1 minute, okay? She said she needed to play her more after one of the Texas games, and you don't play her more, so I don't really understand that. Malaysia had a really good game, though. She played 35 minutes. She had 24 points, 10 for 21 shooting, 2 of 8 from 3, 2 of 2 free throw, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 2 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block, okay? And so she was the one who was keeping LSU in this game, bro. That first half, they could not guard her, bro. She was scoring all over them in transition. She hit some threes. Like, she was toying with them, okay? 1 steal and 1 block. Like, this is probably the best game I've seen Malaysia play the entire season. She really put it together. She played hard. She really wanted it bad. So got to shout out Malaysia in this game. Now we go into scoring by quarter, okay? So 17-21, 23-15, 14-23, and 23-24. Ultimately, South Carolina wins 83-77. Okay, and then we had leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Raven with 22 points, Okot with 13 rebounds, and Raven with 8 assists and 1 turnover. And then for LSU, Malaysia with 24 points, Joyner with 11 rebounds, and Flage with 5 assists, 2-3 turnover. Okay, continuing on with some more advanced stats. Okay. And so South Carolina in this game, 32-73 from the floor, which is going to be 44%. 7-17 from 3, which is going to be 41%. 12-15 from the free throw line, which is going to be 80%. 39 total rebound, 13 offensive, and 26 defensive. 17 assists, 4 steal, 4 block, 9 total turnovers committed in this game. Okay, so keeping the turnovers low, 15 points off of turnovers. They had 9 fast breakers, just points, 44 points in the paint. 7 foul, no tech, largely was 80%. That was going to be 69. For LSU, 30 of 68 from the field, which is going to be 44%, okay? 7 of 21 from 3, 33%. 10 of 12 from the free throw line, 83%. 38 total rebounds, 10 offensive and 20 defensive. 16 assists, 3 steal, 5 block, okay? And you had 14 total turnovers committed, 7 points off of turnovers, 16 fast break decision points, 38 points in the paint, 10 foul, no tech. Largely was scoring percent. That was going to be 22. My overall takeaways on this game is that Dawn has outcoached Kim yet again, bro. LSU has not beat South Carolina since the Obama administration, bro. This is South Carolina's, 19th straight win. Like, they never get tired of getting this belt from South Carolina, bro. Like, it's absolutely insane, bro. And like I said in my review, LSU FC, come to the front, bro, because I knew that South Carolina was going to get this win yet again. And something that I think felt really well for Dawn is that she used her timeouts at the perfect time when she can kind of feel the momentum swinging. She took a timeout. She had the right plays for the right time, and they executed, okay? Limiting the turnovers is going to be huge, which is exactly what they did, and it's a huge reason why they won. They out-rebounded. They made key plays. They had composure at the end of the game, okay? They've been here before, and so they acted like it, and Dawn knew how to prepare them for the situation, okay? Joyce, Okot, and Raven were huge in this game, for sure. I think that Dawn had better rotations overall than Kim. Like I said, I don't know why Zakai Johnson only played 7 minutes. You can tell that Kim doesn't trust Flage in general, especially in the clutch, okay? And so, like I said, Lay was huge. You needed more from Michaela Williams. Flage had a choke job. And they made a lot of mistakes at the end. They were turning over the ball. They couldn't seem to get anything to go in for the most part, I would say. And so they just continue to be undisciplined. When you turn over the ball, and just multiple times where you can just tell that, like, it's really a mental thing. It's really a mental thing. I think a lot of it, that's what this comes down to and stuff. And so I think that this was an excellent game, though. I had so much fun. Like I said, I was looking forward to this game, and it ate down for me. I think it was better than the first one because in the first one, South Carolina missed a lot of layups and stuff, and so there's that. It was really close. It was really dramatic with the free throws at the end, and so I really did enjoy it, but I think that this was better than the first one. So I had a lot of fun, and it's just cool to see the players really care about the game, really be invested. Every single possession matters. They're playing really hard, and yeah, like, you can tell these two teams do not like each other, and it's all on the court. It's all fun, but yeah, just a little bit of tension right there. So I had so much fun watching this game. And just, yeah, LSU, they need real leadership. They need composure. They need to stop playing so sloppy and all that stuff. You can tell that they don't really run real sets, like I've said. It's just a bunch of street ball, and they decide in the moment what they are going to do, and they just make bad decisions. They don't have composure, and they don't do what they needed to do, and you just don't really have much consistency from LSU. You don't know who's going to go off that night, and that's one of my problems with LSU and everything. And even Kim, when she was talking about South Carolina and the program, she sounded like jealous and everything of what Dom's built. And I'm just like, you're the coach of this program. You build the culture, you set the pace and the tempo and everything, and it's with your leadership and everything. So like, you want your program to be as revered as Don's, like you have to coach like that. And she even said, like, we think we're elite, but we can't beat UConn and South Carolina and all these other teams or whatever. So why don't you get some new coaching staff in there? Why don't you recruit some different players who are gonna have that fire and everything? You know what I'm saying? It's just, whenever it counts, LSU always finds a way to come up short. And like people said, like, they just always find a new way to lose against South Carolina and everything. And so, like, yeah, you can just tell, like I said in the SEC, it just means more. Like, oh, I was heated, bro. The marketing that they do for these games, it was too good for me. And in the tournament, I'm seeing that elite exit. That's what I'm seeing. I've been saying it for months, and you make mistakes like this, and it comes back to bite, okay? So, really good game, but definitely had to spend my time talking about that one, okay? Next up, we had Vanderbilt taking on Ole Miss. Ole Miss ends up getting the upset, 89-78, okay? The graphic that I put on the screen is technically wrong, okay? And that's not on me, but I'll just give you the gist of this one. So, what are things that you needed to know, okay? Michaela Blakes had 24 points in this game. You think, oh, that's good. She shot 8 of 27 from the field. She started 0 of 12 from the field. And it's just like, nothing would go in. She had 3, she had open looks, and she just missed them, okay? I don't think she got her first points until she went to the free throw line. So it was just bad for her from the field. 5 of 14 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. She had 2 rebounds, no assists, 3 turnover, 3 steal, and no blocks. It just wasn't a good game straight up, okay? Sasha Washington was decent, 16 points, 5 of 7, but she fouled out at the end, which didn't help. Galvin, you needed a little bit more, 18 points, but she was 7 of 16, okay? So I think that those are the key things that you need to know about Vanderbilt and their performance in this game. What you need to know about Ole Miss, Cody McMahon had 27 points. She was 5 of 15, so not great, but you capitalized at the free throw line, okay, hit a couple threes. The 6 turnovers, I can't praise that. She had 7 assists, 4 rebound, 1 steal, no buck. So Cody McMahon really carried and did everything that she could and played her heart out. Lattimore was huge. She had 28 points and 12 of 13 from the field, so just super efficient. 101 from 3, 3 of 3 free throw, 8 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, no steal, 1 block. Her fingerprints all over the game, okay? So that was huge. Thompson, 16 points, 7 for 10, shooting 2 4 from 3, no free throw, 6 rebounds. She had 2 assists, 3 turnover, 2 steal, no block. So those are the three for Ole Miss. So that's what you need to know, okay? Scoring by quarter, so you can see how bad it was. 25-6. 24-11, 16-24, and 24-37. Vanderbilt tried to stage a comeback. It was too late for that, though. And so Ole Miss wins 89-78. Leaders for points, rebounds, assists. Michaela Blakes with 24 points. Sasha Washington with 8 rebounds. And Galvin with 4 assists to 4 turnover, Lord. Lattimore with 28 points. Lattimore with 8 rebounds. And Cody McMahon with 7 assists to 6 turnovers, though. Okay, so advanced stats for this game, things that are important to know. Vanderbilt shot terribly from the field. They were 27-72 from the field. That's 38%. Ole Miss was better. They were 32 of 56 from the field, which is going to be 57%. And Ole Miss had 6 of 12 from 3, so they were more efficient. And Vanderbilt was 9 of 33 from 3. Okay, so those are huge things to know. Ole Miss out-rebounded 38-35, and then they had more turnovers. They had 21 turnovers to 15. Okay, and even Vanderbilt had more points off of turnovers, 26-21. Okay, they had more points in the paint. So yeah, they led in most statistical categories, but overall takeaways in this game, just straight belt, to be honest, by Ole Miss, okay? They came out, they played hard on both ends of the floor, and I think that Vanderbilt, it's like they couldn't get to a groove. Like, they had so many looks, and they just weren't going in, and Ole Miss was just playing really hard. Like I said, Blake's was 8 for 27, so that's not going to help. You just needed more from the team, and I just did not think it was going to look like this. It was just really lopsided. Second half, they almost staged a comeback. It wasn't enough. Sharoff got ejected in this game, okay? And so, yeah, shout out to Ole Miss. They did what they needed to do, but that's my takeaways on the game. Then we had Texas and Alabama. Another one I'll give you the gist for, okay? Texas wins 83-60 in this game, okay? And so things you need to know. Madison Booker, 11 points, 5 of 8 shooting. 101 from 3, no free throw, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. She had 3 turnover, 2 steal, and 1 block. So it was decent for Madison Booker, okay? Jordan Lee, 16 points, but she was 7 of 15. So I can forgive it more because we're teetering on the edge of 50%, and it's been one of her better games. Harmon, 8 points, and then Bria Cunningham, 4 points. Joseph Carlton, 6 points. Okay, off the bench, Aaliyah Crump gave you 10 points, but she was 2 of 9. And Preston, 13 points, 4 of 5. Oldacre, 7 points, 3 of 4. Alabama, I'll put the stats on. Scoring by quarter, 10-21, 9-31, 20-15, and 21-16. Texas wins 83-60. Okay. And then we have the leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Jordan Lee, 16 points. Madison Booker, 10 rebound. And Madison Booker with 6 assists to 3 turnover, okay? Timmons with 8 points. Egbuna, I believe, with 6 rebound. And Weathers with 3 assists. And then you see the advanced stats on the screen. Texas hit 9 threes, which is really good for them because they're typically not a great 3-point shooting team. Okay, and then they had 41 rebounds, so they out-rebounded, 15 turnovers, which is unacceptable, 21 points off turnovers, only 11 points in transition, 36 points in the paint, so they tied for that. So overall takeaways, I don't remember being pleased with this game and everything. It was just kind of like a slog to watch. Like, you kind of already knew what was going to happen, the same things that I always say about Texas and everything. Like I said, they shot better from 3, but eventually that will come back to bite. So really not much to talk about, honestly, I felt with this game, but Texas did what they needed to do. So that's kind of my takeaway from that. And then we had Texas against Ole Miss. They won 85-68. So what are the things that you needed to know in this game, okay? Madison Booker, this was her legacy game, okay? She played 36 minutes, 31 points, 14-21 shooting, 1-1 from 3, 2-2 free throw, 11 rebound, 5 assists, 5 turnovers. She had 3 steals and 2 blocks. So she really came up huge. They needed this masterclass from Madison Booker and delivered. So I thought she was great in this game. We know that she's going to get to that mid-range every single time, okay? And she did hit a 3 for you as well, and just finding a way to stuff the stat sheet. So Madison Booker, this was her legacy game. So that's what you need to know. Bree Cunningham, 5 points. Carlton, 3 points. Lee with 14 points. She was 6 of 13. Harmon with 5 points. She was 2 for 6. Oldacre legacy game too. 30 minutes played, 19 points, 4 for 7 shooting, no threes, 11 to 13 from the free throw line. 8 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnover, no steal, and she had 4 blocks, okay? Crump played 3 minutes. She had no shots attempted. Like I said, I lean more that she's injured allegedly. Okay, so that was how she did in the game. So that's what you needed to know for Texas. For Ole Miss, Cody McMahon had a good game. 20 points. She was 7 of 13 from the field. Okay, and she got hurt in this game, so I kind of feel for her. She came back, but she played hard. Awala, 12 points, 5 of 11. Lattimore, not great. 10 points, 3 of 9. The Shields, she was great. 20 points, 8 of 11. So that's what you need to know there. Scoring by quarter, 16-22, 16-20, 23-15, 13-28. Texas wins 85-68. Leaders, points, rebounds, and assists. Madison Booker with 31 points. Madison Booker with 11 rebounds. Harmon with 7 assists. For Ole Miss, Cody McMahon with 20 points. Awala with 8 rebounds. And DeShields with 5 assists, okay? And then advanced stats. Texas just shot better from the field. They were 53% to Ole Miss's 39. They were efficient from 3, 4 of 8. Which is really good. They out-rebounded 35-30, okay? 21 assists to 7. I mean, all the advanced stats really favored them. They had less turnovers, but you still turn over the ball 13 times, so I wasn't pleased with that. More points in the paint, 44-30. So yeah. My overall takeaways in this game, I think you could see some of the fatigue for Ole Miss for sure, and I think that kind of played a part, and like I said, but it is what it is. You know, you got to outlast your opponent, which they did not, okay? And they almost staged a comeback in this game. They brought it down to, 10? So it kind of reminded me of the first time they played each other when Texas almost choked it away. But Texas just did enough, and they really rolled on the back of Madison Booker, and she got it done, okay? So that's kind of my takeaways for the game. But Ole Miss played really hard, so got to appreciate them. They never give up. And then we are here at the creme de la creme, okay? We got the SEC championship. Texas facing off against South Carolina. It's true. Texas ends up getting the dub. 78-61. 17-point win. Pretty good. The promo going dancing, okay? So now we really lock in for this one. So, Texas in this game, Madison Booker, 33 minutes played. She had 18 points, 8 for 15 shooting, 0-1 from the three-point line, 2-2 free throws. She had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnover, 1 steal, and no block, okay? She played really well. Okay? Like I said, that pull-up, she's going to go to that every single time. And there was one sequence with her and Jordan Lee. Like, that was some good stuff. So, just doing her thing. Even when she got in foul trouble, they didn't completely play terribly. You know, they still were able to maintain the lead and do their own thing and everything. And she got some really dumb fouls, okay? So, just having to be more mindful, and that's one of the ways you can take Madison Booker out of the game is by getting in foul trouble. But she was efficient. She showed up in a big game, which, like I said, she tends to be a choke artist in the big games if you watch. But she showed up, okay, and she was effective. So she had a good game. Justice Carlton, 27 minutes played. She had 15 points, 6 for 8 shooting, 1-1 from 3, 2-2 free throw, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers though, 1 steal and 2 blocks. So I thought that she was huge in this game. So shout out Justice Carlton. Like I said, I had my qualms with her at the beginning of the year, but she's really improved, like honestly. And then that offensive foul that she had in this game, I almost forgot about that, but that was really heads up on Raven. She knew that Raven was not going to see her coming, set it at the perfect time. Like, that was a really heads up play by her, and she had some really nice stuff in this game, okay? Cunningham, 22 minutes played. She had 8 points, 4 for 7 shooting, no threes, no free throw, 8 rebound, no assist, no turnover, no steal, and 2 blocks, okay? So she was decent. And then we go into Jordan Lee, 37 minutes played. She had 12 points, 5 for 9 shooting, 2 of 2 from 3, 0-1 from the free throw line, 4 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So she was efficient. Okay, it's been a long time since we've seen that from Jordan Lee. Okay, hitting some open threes for you. And so played a role, did what she needed to do. Roy Harmon, 31 minutes played, 8 points, 4 for 10 shooting, 0-1 from 3. No free throw, 4 rebound, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks. Like I said, I wish she could elevate a touch more on that jump shot. Honestly, truly, because it's like a day late and a dollar short sometimes. But being effective on the defensive ends, facilitating, doing what she does. Okay, I like Roy Harmon. I told you guys this. The bench, Sidbury 0 points. Oldicker had 4 points. Why does she only have 2 touches in this game? I don't understand those things. Okay, so I will say that Crump had 7 points. She was 3 for 7. So was able to contribute in her time. Preston 4 points and Judd 2 points. Okay, South Carolina. We continue on. So Joyce played 35 minutes. She had 13 points, 6 for 13 shooting, 0-1 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebound, 2 assists, 4 turnover. Okay, no steal and 1 block. I really don't think Joyce was as terrible as some people are making it out to be in this game. Okay, like I really feel like actually watching the game, like the field goals and all that stuff, it really wasn't that bad. You definitely needed her to come up bigger in this game than she did, because when we only have 13 points in this game, you definitely needed more. I will say those things for sure. But I don't think it was as terrible, like with the field goals and stuff. Like I've seen some way worse performances from Joyce, so that's kind of how I took it. You definitely needed more. I don't like the turnovers and everything. Then we go on to Medina Okot, 23 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 4 from the field, 0-1 from 3, no free throw, 5 rebound, only 5 rebound, no assist, 3 turnover, and 1 steal and 1 block. Okay, so it wasn't great. Tessa, 18 minutes. She had 8 points, 2 of 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 of 4 free throw, 2 rebound, no assist, no turnover, no steal, no block. Again, not great. Latson, 30 minutes. She only had 4 points, 1 of 4 shooting, and 0-1 from 3, 2 of 6 from the free throw line, no rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. And Raven, 27 minutes, 9 points, 3 of 6, 0-1 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. She had 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnover, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Okay, so yeah, just didn't really have it for the starters. And Maddie McDaniel had 10 points from the bench, but outside of that, you didn't really get a whole lot from them. Okay. Scoring by quarter, 27-12, okay? And then we had 18-16, 12-16, and 21-17, okay? Ultimately, Texas wins 78-61, okay? And so we see leaders in points, rebounds, assists. Madison Booker, 18 points. Cunningham with 8 rebounds, and Carlton with 4 assists, 3 turnover. And then for South Carolina, we had Joyce Edwards with 13 points, 20 Beavers with 7 rebounds, and Raven with 4 assists, 4 turnovers, Lord. And then we go on. So from the field, Texas was 34 of 63, which is going to be 54%. Okay, 4 of 7 from the three-point line, which is going to be 57%. 6 of 9 from the free throw line, 6-7. 35 total rebound, 11 offensive, 24 defensive. 18 assists, 5 steal. And then you had 7 block, 9 total turnovers in this one, 16 points off of turnovers, 9 fast breaker transition points, 40 points in the paint, 21 foul, 1 tech in this game. Okay, 19 was the largest lead, and percent led was going to be 99. For South Carolina, 23 of 49 from the field, 47%. 3 of 12 from 3, 25%. 12 of 23 from the free throw line, 52%. 26 total rebound, 6 offensive and 20 defensive, okay? So you had 14 assists, 5 steal, 4 block, 14 total turnover, 9 points off of turnovers, 11 fast breaker transition points, 32 points in the paint, okay? You had 10 fouls, no tag, largest lead was 0%, led was going to be 0, okay? And so my takeaways on this one, I really thought that South Carolina was going to win the SEC tournament. It's true. I did say that, okay? And so, I'll admit that. I think what happened for Texas and why they were able to win this game is that they came out with a lot of energy, okay? They punched South Carolina in the mouth in the beginning of this game, right from the jump ball. And, they played really good defense, okay? And I thought that the help side was fantastic. Swarming around, they made them have to take some contested looks all over the game, okay? And they forced them into a fair amount of turnovers. I believe they forced them into 5 turnovers in the first quarter. And so it's really important when you play a team like South Carolina that you have to start off hot. You have to get out to a big lead and just do your best to maintain it and everything. And so that's basically what they did for the most part, I would say. And so South Carolina brought it into single digits because Texas was fouling them a lot, okay? So I think that was part of it and everything, and then just like missing some stuff. But Texas just found a way to lock back in, get their composure, and they just had an answer for them. I thought that South Carolina had bad shot selection when they had, opportunities, and they missed some simple looks, and they just settled for way too many threes and jump shots, in my opinion, instead of getting in the paint and getting some fouls and getting to the free throw line. So there was that. And I feel like Dawn got out coached by Vic Schaefer in this game. I don't understand why Tessa and Raven did not play more minutes in this game. I thought that was malpractice, okay? So there were some things there. I thought Texas just ran their offense smoother You know, even whenever Madison Booker was in foul trouble, they were still able to maintain that and everything. And I think that Texas just had more to give and had that endurance. I think South Carolina was fatigued. I think you can tell that. And so I think Texas capitalized off of that and, you know, keeping their foot on the gas the entire game and just played with a level of intensity, okay? And so I thought Texas looked really good in the Ole Miss game, okay? And I thought they looked really good in this one. And this was the Texas that I was enjoying, okay? And so I think I said last week and I said before, I felt they had regressed, you know, with the recent games, and I just wasn't pleased seeing the same things over and over and over again. But, you know, these last two games, I feel like they've really looked good. So we'll see if they can continue that stretch. You know, it's going to be really important. It's going to be really important for the 3-ball and all that other things for Madison Booker to show up in these big games continuously and stuff. But I think that they looked really good. They looked really good. So this was a lot better game than I thought. I thought it was going to be an offensive slog, like a 60-57 game, because that's what always happens when they play each other, because they see each other a billion times a year. But it was cool. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And South Carolina, I think, like I said, partially fatigued, and I think that their players just didn't have it. They didn't have it, and they didn't shoot the ball when they had their opportunities. And Texas just outplayed them in every metric. So yeah, there's that. And then here's some photos of them with the banner and them celebrating the SEC championship and all those other things. So that's one. And then two, I have to say the SEC tournament was so fun. I made a whole video about this, but there was just so many good games in the SEC tournament. I think that it's the best tournament around. The stakes, how much the players care, the marketing that they put behind it and everything. The matchups I thought were really good. Like I said, my favorite game was LSU and South Carolina. That's going to eat for me every single time. That's going to eat for me every single time. So yeah, but I had a lot of fun in this SEC tournament, okay? You got to see a lot of cool stuff. You know, you got to see the upset with Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. So I enjoyed myself, okay? And I spent a lot of time watching SEC basketball this year and SEC tournament. You know, I had fun. I had fun. So that's some of my takeaways there. Okay. And so, really quickly, I did want to talk about the SEC tournament team, okay? So, we had Mylasia Fulwiley, Cody McMahon, Joyce Edwards, Raven Johnson, Madison Booker, Rory Harmon, and Justice Carlton. Not mad at that. Not mad at that. You know, I think that it's a good team. I think that's a good team. And I'm pretty sure Madison Booker was the MVP, which, like, I get. So, it was some good stuff. We'll see what Vic Schaefer does. Like, I be siding him. So, let's see if his coaching comes back to bite whenever March Madness starts and, you know, how the players play. Now, we got to get to the Big Ten tournament stuff. No shade. Probably going to speed through a lot of this because I'm running short on time because the day that I'm recording this, we're having USA basketball and USA, I don't even remember who we're playing today, but I am really kind of pinched on time and stuff. And this was really a cakewalk for UCLA in the Big Ten tournament, okay? So we don't have to spend long here on the segment. So they beat Washington 78-60, okay? So taking a look at the advanced stats in this game, things that you need to know, Lauren Betts really carried them, okay? She played 27 minutes, 26 points, 13 of 20 shooting, no threes, 0-1 from the free throw line. She had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks, okay? So yeah, really doing a big one. Like I said, there's some easy shots every single game that she misses that she should definitely make, so I will say those things. But you're seeing her do a little bit more different things, you know, which is good. Like overall in this Big Ten tournament, I saw her take it to the basket once and kind of like drive like half court, so that's different. You don't really see her do that a lot. And just like kind of like the spin around moves that she's doing at the rim and some other stuff, hitting some more mid-range shots, you know, I think is good overall. So I thought you saw some good stuff, and she really carried, you know. Neepkins 13 points, but she was 4 of 11, which just was not pleased by her performance in this game. The shot selection and the IQ that I thought she had, I'm questioning things with Neepkins. I'm going to be real. Hawkes, she had 5 points, 2 of 3, not great. Ledger Walker, 10 points. She was 5 of 8. Kiki Rice, 18 points. She was 7 of 14. Okay, so she was efficient. Off the bench, you only got 6 points from Dugalich, okay? And then Washington just did not shoot well as a team, okay? And so they should have won by more, honestly. I feel like they didn't because they shot terribly from 3. The team defense, I'm not moved by and everything. So, yeah, they didn't really have to do a whole lot to win this game, in my opinion. So that was my takeaways on that basketball game for you, okay? And then we look at leaders and like points, rebounds, and assists. Those are things are going to be on the screen, so you guys can check out those things, okay? Next game we had was them taking on Ohio State. Okay, so they won 72-62. And so my takeaways on this game and things you need to know. Lauren Betts, she had 14 points, 7 for 13 shooting, okay? 9 rebound, 4 assists, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and 2 blocks. So I thought she looked good. I think this was the game she hit multiple middies in this game, and they kept leaving her open. I was happy to see her shoot it. I thought she looked good. Defensively, I thought she did a good job at being able to limit Jelani Cambridge in this game, which I thought was huge. So that was really big for Lauren in this game. Neekins, 13 points, 5 of 13. Had some nice stuff, but still the questions that I just said. And then Hawkes, she had 10 points. She was 4 of 12, so it wasn't great. Ledger Walker, 2 points, 1 of 4. And then Rice, 17 points, 6 of 13. Okay. So it was some decent stuff. You guys know how I feel about Kiki Rice. Dugalich, 28 minutes. She had 14 points, though. So she did good. For Ohio State, Jelani Cambridge struggled. She was 4 of 14. And so Lauren Betts did a really good job guarding her. I don't know why we're taking shots on Lauren Betts in the first place. The only way she was able to score was, I think she scored once off of a backdoor cut, and then one was like in a transition moment. So she kind of had to get like some crafty ways to score whenever she was able to, and then she just wasn't able to capitalize on open looks. And she's their leading scorer. So when she struggled, you know, it was going to be difficult. And then everyone else didn't really step up. Chance Gray had a good game though, 23 points. Okay, but yeah, it just wasn't a good game for them as a team. And so UCLA shot better from the field. They were 45%. Okay, so I'm seeing that they out rebounded just a touch. Okay, had more assists, more steals, more blocks, less turnovers in the game. And so it was a pretty close game. You know, and so I thought that their defense was a little bit better than the last game, if I can remember correctly. So I remember thinking those things, okay? And like I said, with them limiting Jelani, I think that was a huge thing. And Ohio State, they kept getting so close, but they couldn't just take over the game, okay? And so, yeah, I think that that's what happened in the game that I remember, okay? And then the last game that we had was them taking on Iowa in the Big Ten Championship. Y'all, this was not even close, bro. They won 96-45, mind you, okay? So they're the Big Ten champions. So important things to note in this game. Lauren Betts, 24 minutes, 10 points, 5 for 9 shooting, no threes, 0-2 from the free throw line, missing both, of course. 4 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 3 steal, and 1 block. So did what she needed to do. It was a really balanced effort for the most part in this game. Neepkins, this was one of the best games she's had in a while that I've seen. 29 minutes, 19 points, 6 for 11, shooting 4 of 8 from 3 of 3 free throw, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So, I mean, she looked good for the most part, I would say. Hawk has 12 points. Ledger Walker, 11 points. Rice, 15 points on 7 of 13. And Sienna Betts had a good game, too. 14 points on 7 of 8 shooting from the field. So she was toying with them. Dugalich, you would like to see a little bit more. 7 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Iowa as a team shot terribly. Hannah Zolke, 0 points is insane, okay? Hayden came through, though, 15 points, 7 of 11 shooting. Chit Chat was 4 of 16 from the field with 9 points. So, yeah. And then you can see some of the advanced stats, like scoring by quarter. I'll throw those things up on the screen and everything. Things that you need to know about this game. UCLA had all day to decide what they were going to do in this game. Like, there was, like, basically no pressure from Iowa on the defensive end in this game. And Iowa was too scared to get into the paint. They really were. They kept settling for threes and jump shots, and that's a huge reason why they lost the game. And they had so many open looks, and they were not going in, bro. Iowa in this game was 17 of 61 from the field. UCLA defense was not even that good. They had moments of good defense, but there was just multiple times Iowa couldn't hit anything, okay? And so they had all day, UCLA that is, to decide what they're going to do offensively stuff. And they just really played with no real sense of urgency. Okay. And so, yeah. Like this game, it just got to a point. It's just one of the worst team performances I've seen. No shade. So there's that. People talk about the Big East all day and night, but nobody talks about the Big Ten only having 3 or 4 good teams in it, because pretty much they steamroll their way through this Big Ten tournament. Okay, so I'll give UCLA their credit. I don't think UCLA is as good as people say that they are and everything. If we match up against UCLA, I'm confident that we would beat them again. I really am. Like, they don't get sped up and everything and forced to make mistakes and to turn over the ball and actually have to run with any real sense of urgency. Okay, like they're deciding what they're going to do in that second instead of having like some real plays. Like that game was easy for them. That game was easy. They did not have to do much. Okay, so that was my takeaways there. Last up I have the Unrivaled Championship. Okay, so the Mist won over the Phantom 80-74. What are things that you needed to know? Stewie came up huge for the Mist. She had 32 points, 11 of 15. Kelsey Plum had 40 points. She was 14 of 21. Okay, and they really did their big one. Okay, and so my overall takeaways on this game is that whenever I heard Aaliyah Boston was going to be out for the season, I knew that it was going to be wraps for the Phantom. Just because she really anchored their defense all season long, and she can score as well, and she can rebound. And so I knew that her and Kelsey Plum been carrying all year, and so I was just going to put more on Kelsey, and that she was going to have a Herculean effort for them to even have a chance. And she did that. 40 points. Okay, she had 18 in the first quarter, I believe. Literally 8. So bad. And when she went on the bench, they immediately gave up the lead. One person can only do so much. Everybody else going to have to show up and show me something, okay? Those are things that I know. So I really think that she did everything that she could. I just think that everybody else couldn't help her enough. Tip Hayes irritated me so bad. Like, she couldn't even get the foul baiting right. And that's what she does every game. And, like, it was just bad. They could not help out Kelsey Plum. And so I think that that's the reason why they lost. And they brought it close at the end and everything. But they didn't have enough. They couldn't score enough. And then they couldn't get enough stops on the defensive end. And they had everybody healthy. And, you know, they played better as a team, more connected basketball. I think the officiating was questionable in this game, as it has been in every Unrivaled game, things that we already knew. And so all the advanced stats will be from the screen, but I mean, that's what that game really boiled down to, for me, in my opinion. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say there. And so yeah, and this week I really wanted to talk about my icy hot experience and everything. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to because I did my entire vlog and I sent them to them and I'm still waiting for approval off of that. So yeah, I'm not trying to drag it, y'all. I'm not trying to drag it, y'all. Okay, I promise. So hopefully next week I can finally talk about my icy hot experience. Okay, update. Right after I recorded this episode, I got the approval to post the vlog. So it's out on my YouTube channel if y'all are watching it here, Anastasia 25, so you can check it out here. It's on the TikTok page as well. And so, yeah, this was already recorded though, okay? I found out shortly after. And so next week I'll probably talk about it a little bit, but the vlog is kind of all encompassing and covers everything, but just a little update about the icy hot experience. And so that's everything that I want to talk about for this week. No bonus games. There was just so much to talk about with the SEC tournament specifically and everything, and I didn't have the time. Like, it was just so much time trying to get my notes ready for everything, and some of these I didn't have the time to write down the notes and everything, but most of these I had to go back. So it's just a lot to do this podcast and everything. Again, thank you guys so much for the support in the podcast. Okay, so that's kind of the gist for this week. I did want to say, check out the new wall. I do have the new Hairstyles album up here. Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. Album's kind of mid. The songs that I really liked: Pop, Coming Up, Roses, and Dance No More. Those are my three. Okay, so I feel like I like about half the album and everything, and I already bought the album before it came out on streaming, so I just bit the bullet. I put it on the wall because it looks cool. I have Mariah Carey Rainbow. If you know one thing about me, I love Mariah Carey. That's my favorite artist of all time, so that's a new addition. And I changed out all the albums on the wall, and the only one I kept was the Fiona Apple album. I don't know if you guys know, but that's Fiona Apple. I love Fiona Apple, but I changed all the other albums on the wall. And then I have my clock there, like I talked about last week, and then I do have this shelf, which I did not reference. But I got something to put my Nafisa Carter basketball on. I'll fill it with some other stuff, like probably some Sarah Strong stuff, whatever, but I literally got an entire shelf. So those are just like a couple changes that I made from last week that I did want to address and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week of the podcast and everything. Song of the week: Pop by Harry Styles. Yes. I gotta start doing that again. I forgot that was a segment that I was doing, okay? And so, yeah. And I will say, next week is going to be a lot of fun because hopefully I'll be able to talk about my icy hot stuff then, one. And then two, I'm going to be talking about USA basketball. Okay, we had a couple games happen, but I wanted to talk about it all together and just dedicate an entire episode to all the games because we have a game today, a game tomorrow, and a game on Tuesday. So I'm really excited to talk about that, and I wanted to throw it all together in one. And I just knew I had a lot of tournament stuff to talk about. It's going to be a long episode, so I want to talk about that next week. And then I'll talk about Selection Sunday, hopefully icy hot as mentioned, and just some other stuff. But we got some good stuff coming up for next week. I do this every single week. And so, yeah, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure that you give it a like. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can hit the hype button down below, and then that recommends it to people, I believe. And then also share this podcast with your friends and everything. And so, and let me know what you guys think. Give me a review on Spotify, Apple Music if you guys are listening to this as well, okay? And so, you guys can also follow me on my other social media platforms. So, I am on Twitter. I have a personal Instagram. I have an Instagram where I post my game reviews. I'm kind of behind on that. I'm on TikTok, okay? Like I said, I have a new account, Anastasia Scouting Report, where I'm posting all my stuff for now. I'm still waiting to try to get my other account back, okay? And so that's where I'm posting all of my reviews in real time, so you guys can check out those things, okay? And so it's a lot of fun to do those, and then my reviews are obviously on YouTube too. And then I go live on TikTok sometimes, and so you guys can have me on there. It's a lot of fun. I have multiple TikTok accounts. The Anastasia250_ account, that's the one I'm waiting to get back, and that's the one I typically go live on. And then the Scouting Report account is what I do my reviews on and my other stuff. So it's confusing, but all the stuff ends up here anyways, okay? So that was the things to know as well. And yeah, all my social media will be linked down below and everything. But like I say every week, this podcast is just so much fun to do, so much fun to talk to you guys about the game of basketball and just the community that we built. Just so much joy. So much fun stuff to talk about next week. And then March Madness is going to happen. The draft is going to happen. Like, we got a lot of good stuff coming up, and just excited to share it all with you guys, okay? Let me know you guys' thoughts down below in the comments and everything about these games and how you feel, okay? Like I said, I was kind of on a time crunch, so I kind of had to, like, get through the end and everything before this game starts, one. And so, yeah, also camera space, too. But thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.